Welcome to Manga Machinations! This is episode number 572, and we're doing another Jianghu Journeys. I'm Dakzu, and with me is Star Fox 8,
Hello, it's me, Darfox8.
Morgana Santilli,
Hi there.
and Seamus2389.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. This is going to be the final podcast of 2025 with all four hosts. Seamus is going to be taking a trip, and he will be gone for a while after this. So enjoy this while it lasts, everybody. I thought somebody else was going to say something about this, but I guess not.
Nah, nobody cares. See you, Seamus.
Well then, yeah. We are recording this episode right now live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MugMacTV. So you can check out the live recording. Maybe we'll get some Darfox face cam.
Darfax.
Darfax.
If you're nice to your mom, things will go well. Darfax.
I think we should have a Darfax segment, just one every episode. That's a good fact, Darfax.
As long as you're not super tired and as long as like your body isn't hurting in any way, try to return the carts to the cart thing at the supermarket. Don't just leave it anywhere in the parking lot. Darfax.
Are those facts?
They feel like advice, but they're Darfox
they're
advice.
Darfax.
Yeah, they're Darfax.
Okay. But yeah,
I like them.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say, welcome to our podcast. We're essentially a book club for manga. And before I forget, I should thank our coffee supporters. You know, Darfox, you really gotta update that image.
Yeah.
Now we're back on YouTube. We don't have anything to throw up on the screen.
I know, except for like coffee, I don't know.
But yeah, if you want to financially support us, head over to ko-fi.com/mangamac and buy us a coffee. We'll use the money to fund Seamus's trip to Kobe-Ket, which is the current coffee goal. Oh man, if we actually reach that, I'm going to laugh so much. But you can be a supporter like Philip, Mugamachu, Vicky Dalton, Lulu, A-Liz, 8E8, Chris from Canada, Deluid, Mia, Wyatt, Dr. Melface, Poor Mexican 72, Liquidus002, Extine, Jen, Neptic, Shirley Bossycat, and Tama Gamer. Wow, I did that in one breath. Thank you all so much for supporting us. Usually I take a couple breaths in between, but not that time. Okay, moving right along, I have an email. This one is from our friend in Germany, Tyler, and it's titled Starter Pack. Let me go ahead and read it. If your family member or child or pet or friend wanted to get into a manga or video game or Asia media or whatever, what would be your starter tier pack for them get into it? For me, starter tier pack for manga, tier 1, Yu Yu Hakusho, manga and anime. GOT teaches them young the standard what good all-rounder series look like, story, character building, all need falling in love with rebel kid character, and more. Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga, the best chill manga to read with small bit of cringe you needed. Bleach manga, so they know what good started first half and bad second half series look like. Teaches them what bad storytelling look like, but also what look amazing character design look like. Tier 2, Tegami Bachi manga, for good semi-long adventure storytelling look like and how can too many word bubble can ruin the art and the moment of the scene. Slam Dunk, what a sports manga can do to your feeling and make you cry. Okay, thank you for your email, Tyler.
Well, was that all tier 1 or was each series a different tier?
I believe tier 1 was Yu Yu Hakusho, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Bleach. And tier 2 was Tegami Bachi and Slam Dunk.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I question Tyler's like choices about like given the Bleach manga so I can punish them for
Yeah.
reading the second half. It's like,
Yeah.
is that? I don't think that's how you like introduce somebody. Like-
Maybe if you're trying to be like a manga editor or something, like in that situation, you should read Bleach and see how something could go wrong.
This is also a very shonen selection,
Mhm.
and my answer changes depending on who the person is I'm trying to get interested in manga.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like the main thing. You can't really just give anybody. I'm not gonna give like, I don't know, Seamus's dad like tier 1 Yu Yu Hakusho and Yu-Gi-Oh manga.
There's
I
only
don't
one
think
manga. Imuro Yamada's F. That's always the answer.
that's your answer for everybody. Oh, I want to get into manga. Seamus, here, read F.
You're a
Then nobody
5-year-old,
reads
read
manga
F.
again.
5-year-old.
Yeah, it's like, look,
Well-
you got to start from somewhere, like, you know. You need to know the important things in life.
You know, that's funny because as Darfox was talking, or I'm sorry, as Dakazu was talking, you know, one of the segments of people was if you want to get your kid into manga, and I'm thinking about my 5-year-old, and well, I think she actually would like Yu Yu Hakusho and Yu-Gi-Oh. That's not like the first place I would go necessarily. She's into Pokemon right now, so that's kind of where we're at. But my kids have seen Studio Ghibli already, so they have some background. And then I'm kind of like, well, am I cheating because they have an otaku mom, so like they have access to my kids have access to all kinds of weird manga, so they can kind of pick and choose. But I have been thinking lately that like Cardcaptor Sakura might be a good. I've tried Sailor Moon a couple times, and it has not quite clicked with my daughter. I was 5 when I got into Sailor Moon, but it just hasn't quite worked for her. But I'm wondering if Cardcaptor Sakura is a little bit more approachable. It's a little more like kawaii, which is really in right now. So
My theory on that is that you seeing Sailor Moon at 5 years old was probably like a brain stimulation that hasn't existed yet. But like your daughter has so many things are just influenced by Sailor Moon
yes,
that I think some of those things have already been scratched in their brain.
And she doesn't need the girl power hit like I did.
Yeah.
I had not. I was into X-Men and Batman, but then suddenly I had something that was a little bit more for me. She already has stuff with girls in it, even like the Spidey and His Amazing Friends has Spider-Gwen, you know, which is a small thing, but like that's, you know, she's watched Miraculous Ladybug, for example.
Right, yeah. Big time.
That, you know, which of course is very influenced by the magical girl genre.
Even K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, which she's obsessed with. So, well, she's really into. I would not say obsessed. I think it could go harder, but she's definitely into it. So
2026, she's gonna go harder on K-pop Demon Hunters. Here we go.
Oh, she brought home K-pop Demon Hunters fan art from school the other day. So I mean, it's not like it's not there. It's just I know she could go further if she wanted to. So
I don't know. It sounds like Seamus's selection is actually might be a good choice.
For Severina, yeah.
What's she not getting? The Islamic State?
Yeah, that's true. She has no concept of borders or countries right now, so that might be a little. Yeah, no. I don't know if she would really. She's just getting there.
Does she understand like Japan's like nationwide phobia of being a failed state and why F hits so hard?
She doesn't know what Japan is, and that's not for lack of trying on my part. She just doesn't quite have a concept. I mean, she does now kind of more so have an idea of what states is, but like she'll speak nonsense words and be like, I said such and such in Spanish, and I'm like, no, you didn't. Please stop pretending you're speaking Spanish. That's really rude. Like, I cannot tell you how rude that is.
Understand? She's 5.
Yes, extremely 5. But yeah, we're working on it. I'm not sure F is she can quite grok that yet.
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe Children of Motown will be easier.
Mm,
With tongue.
maybe. I bet she'd like the artwork. She's a really artsy kid, so
Oh.
she's sitting next to me. She goes, "Oh, we're talking about me?"
Yes.
That's cute. Maybe
But yeah.
maybe when you're 7.
She does like comics though, so I don't think it'd be hard to get her into anything.
Comics is reading. Don't let
Yes.
any fucking online education tell you comics isn't reading. That's
No.
bullshit.
Totally reading.
Are they bringing back out? I thought I saw something there about the Marvel manga. They were doing something with it.
I'm sure there are some. There's like a Spider-Man manga, like a young kids one.
Mm-hmm. Getting back to the email real quick. Yeah, if someone wants to get into like manga or anime or whatever or Asian media, it really just depends on the person. I don't really have a blanket like good straight recommendation to give them.
I will say, so this is, giving people manga has been a large part of my job historically, and I did have kind of go-tos for specific kinds of people. So, like, if somebody wanted to get into manga or was, like, really new to manga, depending on their interest, there were definitely a few titles that I'd be like, "Maybe you should try this." For, tween and teen girls, it was inevitably Magic Knight Rayearth. For dudes who wanted to get into horror, I'd hand them Junji Ito typically. This is what was on hand at the time.
Right.
So I definitely have like go-to recommendations depending on what people are looking for. But one of the fun things about like Reader's Advisory is digging into what a person's interested in and then finding something that they're not going to necessarily get suggestions for elsewise.
Mhm.
And that is not necessarily reflective of what I like or what I think is best. That is what I think is best for them. So I have my favorites, but they're not necessarily the things I would. I mean, my favorite manga of the last few years is Innocent. I'm not gonna recommend that to most people, frankly. Like I have recommended it to a couple friends because I know they can handle it and I know that it's something they're interested in, but there's a line and I wouldn't recommend it to like just anyone.
I want to make this interesting for Darfox and Seamus. Let's go with
Oh.
Hong Kong movies.
That's kind of easy in my brain. Like tier 1, you just give him like a Jackie Chan movie from like the 90s or 80s when late 80s when he was like kind of honed his craft, very easy accessible. It's just funny time. Tier 2, maybe like a John Woo movie, less slapstick, more emotion, more violence. And then like tier 3, some like Choi Hark movie, and you see like um him trying to like do interesting stuff with the actual filmmaking and stuff like that. And then tier 4, I guess, hit him with the Wong Kar-wai, and you can see like the artsy side. I mean that's missing like probably like 80% of Hong Kong cinema, but like that, if we're just going tiers, then like I feel like that's an easy one to like lay out that way.
Do you agree with that, Seamus?
No, I'd say we do School on Fire and the Anthony Wong Ebola movie.
That's actually like
Jesus.
I think that there should be definitely a tier where you get like the really exploitative stuff. Like there should be a Wang Jing tier as well, where you get all your like inappropriate like jokes about AIDS and stuff like that.
Just it could be tearing to. How do you feel about like inappropriate jokes about AIDS and gay and people perceived as being gay? There's a whole world out there.
Just
I would
like
say
every movie.
the Chow Yun Fat movie about bigamy is very good. Diary of a Big Man.
I mean,
does
you
have
never
AIDS jokes.
know. Didn't like we get an email from Chris asking about like those extreme movies, and then she
Right.
just popped off.
Yep.
So it that could be a like recommendation, a starter pack for that person.
My recommendation for getting into media of any kind is maybe don't ask Seamus first.
To be fair,
I
now,
mean,
people did legitimately ask me. I would be like, "All right, what are you looking for here?" And I would be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I think you should watch the Ebola movie. It won't end well." See, my whole thing is like, you need to drive people away from this stuff.
more for Seamus. It's pie. You can't have it.
We need to bring back gatekeeping in an extreme way. Where it's like you're going to watch a movie about, or a guy gets set on fire screaming, "I have Ebola," and a movie about teenagers where you're just like, they're all fucked, and really, they're probably better off killing themselves. That's Hong Kong in the 1980s, according to Ringo Lam.
Not very Disney.
Fair, I probably would just say like Chai Hark 86 to 95. It's just like, what are you interested in? Comedy? Do you want some historical stuff? Do you want some martial arts? Do you want
Yeah,
some horror?
that's a good point. Choi Hart kind of did everything. Where it's like, if I recommend Jackie Chan filmography, it's like really hitting very similar stuff. It's not that diverse. Like
Kung
Sammo
fu action,
Hung,
kung fu action, comedy, kung fu action.
Sammo Hung is slightly more diverse, but like not like Choi Hark. That guy's he's a filmmaker.
Is kung fu Hong Kong kung fu action the shonen manga
I
of
guess
Chinese cinema?
I guess so.
The most popular, the most well known.
Well, I mean, like most things, there was a time where like kung fu action wasn't in vogue, and it was like romantic comedies were like the big thing. And after Bruce Lee died, and there was like just tons of Bruce flotation films where like Bruce chair, Bruce sofa, all of these fake Bruce Lees coming out. Like that was kind of cratering, and people were really losing their interest. And then they just started watching comedies and romantic comedies and stuff like that. And then later, Jackie Chan came around, and it kind of like helped move it back in that direction of the kung fu stuff. But I guess at the time, from like the 80s through like the 90s, it was definitely like the vanilla flavor. It's like, what are you gonna see? Well, of course I'm gonna go watch this thing because everybody's watching it and it sounds fun. That's what everybody was watching.
Yeah, it sounds like all the popular shonen battle manga / anime that's hot right now. Yeah, My Hero Academia anime just ended. I wasn't even aware.
Oh, I
think
knew
there's
the
an
last
element of
one.
like what actually made its way over to the US, given that like in the 90s, Stephen Chow was like the biggest name in Hong Kong cinema, and like he was just not a thing I'd say most people would even know because his movies were so like specific to a specific type of Hong Kong / Chinese comedy. Like probably
Very
doesn't really
wordplay-y.
translate. Yes, like very in jokey. I think they're great. I think that he's I don't know. Now that I'm watching a bunch of his stuff, I think like he's like this guy's like the stuff he's doing is amazing. But I also I'm just like totally on board with that whole nonsense style image Jeffrey Lau did.
It's like Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle, right?
Yeah.
He directed those, but even
Those
those
are
are
great.
like bigger production, less. To be fair, what Kung Fu Hustle is pretty kind of ridiculous at times.
What do you think is like the shoujo starter pack?
Of Hong Kong cinema.
No, just of manga.
Of manga.
Of manga on this manga podcast. Damn, I gotta think now.
Chai Hark, 86 to 95.
I mean,
That's actually kind of tough because I don't want to recommend the Dragon Ball manga, but any shonen starter pack you do is gonna be like a really long series and a really long series and a really long series.
Oh, okay. You thought I said shonen because I was talking about shoujo and you said Dragon Ball. I was like, what?
Oh, you said shoujo. Oh, my bad.
Yes.
yeah.
Sorry, my
Shoujo
brain.
starter pack, Dragon Ball.
But even that's hard. Even that's hard because it depends on what you're looking for. Because again, as we know, that's like a demographic, right? Like, do you want magical girls? Do you want fantasy? I have this issue right now. Okay, this is relevant. My husband's cousin has a daughter. She's
Mhm.
11.
Okay.
She is she's already been into comics. She really likes Raina Telgemeier. I've given her a bunch of comics in the past, but she's getting into manga. But she's 11, and she's not really into fantasy. She likes, like, real life stories. So that's a different, because in my brain, I'm like, Sailor Moon, Magic Knight Rare. But in reality, she probably wants, like, a more straightforward, like,
High school
high school
romance.
rom-com, right? Yeah. So
Orange. Isn't that is that shoujo?
which one?
Is it Orange? Is that the name of it? The one I'm thinking about?
Orange, yes, yeah. Well, I think that might have run in a seinen magazine. I don't know off the top of my head, but I bet you it's one of those weird ones that you're like, "This is shoujo," and you're like, "Nope, it's actually seinen," because that happens a lot. I mean, I like shoujo, but again, I can't even necessarily be like, "This is the one shoujo book you must read." I started with Sailor Moon, but like Dark Fox was saying too, like, that might be dated now. The kids don't need that the way I needed it when I was a kid.
Orange started in a shoujo magazine and then went to a seinen magazine.
Okay, yep, that sounds right.
Interesting evolution there. I feel like if you're presenting like a guy, a dude bro, like fucking Chad with his first shoujo, you want to hit him with something like My Love Story. Very easy to get in for like a guy. The guy is the protagonist.
My favorite time, I don't know if I've told you guys this. I was on a panel once, we were talking about manga, and we were talking about shoujo manga, and one of the other panelists was talking about how Ranma listed off Ranma one half as a shoujo manga, and I was like, "Sir, that is false. That is a shonen manga." People don't understand the delineation. It literally has nothing to do with anything other than the magazine. So that's the other kind of
Yeah.
drawback, is that, like, if you're looking for a rom-com, I might recommend Ranma, regardless of your demographic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would I recommend Ranma? I don't know. Depends. Depends on how high a threshold you have for some racism and transsexism.
I kind of want to go back and reread Rumma, but I'm scared.
I've read the first double volume that Viz put out. I've not read Ranma otherwise. I've watched it. I think it's one of those things where it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, there's definitely some cringing that happens as you read it, but it's not like, it could be worse. Definitely.
Speaking of Chinese cinema, Ranma is very like Chinese costumes and aesthetics, and you know, definitely the surface level stuff. It's all over Ranma.
And like, it's the thing about that, and it's not like the US is any better. It's the Chinese aesthetics and the super anti-Chinese racism that like go hand in hand, and it's really frustrating because you're like, on the
Yeah.
whole, this is really great, but you got it. Like, do you really have to do that?
Nobody cared at the time.
What's its stance on Taiwan?
This Taiwan, I wonder if Taiwan even comes up.
There's a Chinese Taipei.
I don't think they got that deep.
Yeah.
That's too
not
deep
even
for
there.
Ranma.
Did they swim to Taiwan in their worldwide tour of martial arts training?
No.
That's the only reason it would have come up.
Yeah, I was thinking about rereading it, but like that's like everyone has their Rumiko Takahashi series. Usually the one they read when they were younger. That was mine because I'm a little older. I think for everyone else it's Inuyasha. That was like the big one while they were growing up. And yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna go back and be like cringing too hard.
It looks great though. Art's top notch.
Have you been watching the new anime?
No.
I tried a little.
It
I kind of
was
fell
alright.
off.
I saw like most of the first season.
I don't want a Ranma that doesn't look like it was made in the 80s and 90s. It's such a staple of that time period that I don't think I want something that looks, quote unquote, better. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, again, like it depends on like you and the person because I kind of feel that way about Sailor Moon. It's very
Yeah, I
90s
do
to
too.
me.
Yeah,
Like
I do
the
too.
Sailor Moon is so like 90s and like um okay, so like the dub inserted some of this stuff, but like the whole like pastel and squiggly line kind of like aesthetic of the 90s, I associate that with Sailor Moon, even though that wasn't actually in the original anime.
I was really excited when the, like, Sailor Moon Crystal came out. I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be closer to the manga and all these things." And production values aside, because there were some problems there,
Yeah.
um, I just didn't care for it visually. Like, I was like, "It's cool that this looks more like her artwork, Takeuchi's artwork," but also, like, I don't know, the '90s
It
one was
doesn't
so
hit the
'90s.
same.
I kind of like the anime better.
The OG, yeah.
Shoot me now.
I do too.
Yeah.
And that was my first manga, so
And I've seen it dubbed and I've seen a lot of it in Japanese and I appreciate both. But sometimes I kind of like the dub better.
I like the original Deke dub.
Yeah, I think, yes.
I'm a sinner. I like the original Deke dub.
Yep.
It's terrible and I love it.
That's what I mean. You see lasers pointed at me from the window, and I would die.
Well, that's a good sign to wrap up this email, which we seem to have deviated mostly from.
We
But thank you
gave
for
tears of sorts.
yeah. But thank you for the email, Tyler. If you want to send us emails, send them over to mugamachinations@gmail.com. Okay, let's move along to some what you been reading. And yeah, I would like to start this time.
Oh, changing it up.
Well, I saw a movie.
Wow.
And by that I
was
mean
it
I sat
wicked
in
for
my,
good?
I no, by that I mean like I saw it at home on streaming.
Okay.
But I saw Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
how is it? I haven't seen it yet, okay? So
Okay,
don't spoil too much.
am I the only one who's seen it?
I have not seen it, but one of my friends has told me about it.
Okay.
And I will save what they say until you say something because I don't want to like maybe
I
steal your thunder or whatever.
I do really want to see it. So like only give me the base highlights. I don't want to hear I mean, I don't know. I've read the book. How spoiled can I
Right,
get?
right.
But,
Seamus, have you seen it?
Nope.
Okay, you should all see it. Morgana, you should especially see it because this is Bram Stoker's Dracula 100%, if not more.
yeah. I mean, there are few directors I trust as much as Guillermo del Toro to do something like this. I have been consistently very happy with his movies, with the exception of I can't remember what it's called now.
Crimson Peak.
No, I love Crimson Peak. He did a noir film that was really dark.
Oh yeah, I actually didn't like that one much either.
Yes.
Nightmare Alley.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
actually it wasn't bad. It was just like this noir is not my favorite, believe it or not. I have a hard time with it sometimes. It's really dismal. I think
That was one of those movies where as I was watching, I was like, damn, I should love this. But like, it wasn't hitting
Yes.
the whole time. It wasn't
Yes.
hitting, and by the end of it, I like logically, I kind of like where it went, and it's a terrible story of comeuppance and stuff like that.
Yes. So that's
But I'm like, I like it, you know.
yeah, it's a remake of a film from I think the 40s. So it's a remake of a noir film that already exists. And of course, because it's modern and because it's Guillermo del Toro, he takes it darker, right? So I like a lot of things about it. You're right, Dar. It's the same thing. Like I was like, why don't I like this? Why don't I like really love this? But it was just like too. It was too much. It was too, and it was long. God, it was so
Yeah.
freaking long.
It was long.
But every other film, every other Guillermo del Toro film I've seen, I love. So few
Well,
people
you
I
will
trust as
love
much
this,
as him.
Morgana. It is
I believe it.
100% Morgana coded.
Okay. My coworker almost turned me off to the film because they really didn't like it. And now I'm wondering if I should say what they didn't like about it because
like how it's not the book because he does change some things.
Yeah, essentially, there's a main thing about the book that they changed that they really disagree with.
I mean, there's shit that the original Frankenstein film with Boris Karloff changed to an extreme
Yeah.
degree. Like I don't expect 100% accuracy with my book to film adaptations.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I think this is something that like kind of changed the course. So I'll just send it to Dogzu. We don't really have to talk about it if we do end up watching it, because I was so interested in watching it. Yo, Cliff in the chat, what's up?
Hey, Cliff.
We could revisit this because I did still kind of want to watch it, but I'll just send it to Dogzu so he knows what it was.
Yeah, it's so the thing is, I haven't really been watching movies in the past couple of years. I think the most movies I've watched is for this podcast, for like Movie Machinations and Manga in Motion.
Same.
And you know what? This is probably one of the best movies I've seen in the past 5 years. It was so fucking good. Like Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro, just the fact that he uses practical effects, practical sets. He works together with his, set designers, his costumers, his lighting. Everything looks so fucking good in this movie. I was just like blown away by how good looking this movie is. And just like the aesthetics are just so cool and just interesting. Just like in the same way Bram Stoker's Dracula is very like visual and appeasing in that way. Same thing. And yeah, it's a long movie. It's 2.5 hours. There's a specific narrative reason for that, but I like that choice, and like it was very connected to the story that Guillermo del Toro was trying to tell through Frankenstein.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, like I can't wait to hear what you think of this movie, Morgana, because I think you will absolutely love it.
I want to try and watch it. It's just getting the time.
I recommend doing it like how me and my wife did it, and we watched it over 2 nights.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to. I probably don't have a choice, frankly.
Yeah, but honestly, like we reached kind of like a good point to stop, and I was like, she was like, my wife was like, "Do you want to stop?" And I was like, I kind of want to keep going, honestly, because this is so good and I'm enjoying it so much. So yeah, it was an awesome movie, and even at the beginning, my wife was like, "Do you want to watch this on like 1.5 speed or something?" I was like, "No, actually,
absolutely not.
I will not." I watch a lot of YouTube videos and podcasts at like higher speeds, but not this. I want to enjoy what I'm seeing because it's that good.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, so I 100% recommend this movie to Morgana. I think both Darfox and Seamus would enjoy it as well, based on the fact that we enjoy Bram Stoker's. You might not enjoy the story as much as the rest of us, Seamus, but I think you'll appreciate just how it looks. It looks amazing.
No, I don't think so.
Aww.
I already read stuff about it where I was like, yeah, I'm never watching this movie.
Wow, all right.
Maybe I should send the spoilers to Seamus.
I'm
no,
excited.
like, I don't care about the plot. I was just reading about like the filming of it now, and I was like, I have better things to watch. Plus, I don't really like Del Toro all that much.
That's fair.
Sin after sin, Seamus. Terrible.
Well, what are we going to do when he?
I've watched High Hark 86 to 95, like, so what's Guillermo del Toro doing?
There you go. You're all set.
What are we going to do when he comes on the podcast next week? No, I'm kidding.
I'll be like,
he's not coming.
Movies aren't that good. Like, I'll just be like, Chai Hark exists. Like, what are you doing with your life?
I mean, he probably agree with you if you compare him to Joy Hart, but
probably, yeah.
But yeah,
it's funny.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was having a conversation with my husband the other night because Netflix is looking to buy Warner Brothers, and that's bad for many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But we were complaining about the state of film and TV and how everything has kind of been terrible lately. And I looked at him and I said, "Can you name how many movies can you name that came out in the last years that you'd be excited to watch again?" And we're not watching a ton of movies either. To be fair, we're not seeing a ton of new movies. we had a hard time coming up with like movies that we've like new movies that we've seen. And I said, "Okay, now go to movies from the 70s, 80s, 90s. How many of those would you watch again?" And I'm wondering like, you know, just talking about like the inshedification of cinema basically. Which I complain about literally every week.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's become a problem. It's a meme. Get out your bingo card and we're gonna complain about film. But I will say there are a handful and we both agree that Ryan Johnson's pretty good. We mostly like his films that we've seen. Guillermo del Toro is pretty solid. But so much of what we've seen that came out in the last decade were superhero films. And I don't
They're
think
all interchangeable.
they are all interchangeable. I don't think and he was like, "I kinda liked Ant-Man." I was like, "Yeah, it was fun, but, like, is it a good movie? Do you need to see it again? Like, is it" you know?
Yeah, they're enjoyable
Are you
parts.
not
They're all
describing an
popcorn.
American movie problem, not a rest of the world movie problem?
Oh, probably very much so. I mean, I with the again, we're not watching a ton of film to begin with, and what we are watching is very much Hollywood, centric for sure. Though we do try to, I mean, in general, we like to watch foreign films. Specifically in the last 10 years, we probably have not done a lot of that.
Morgana, I would be happy to watch this movie again.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. There are a few that I would too. I'm excited about this though. I need to make time to watch it before the end of the year so I can scream about it with you.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna watch again? Avatar 2, The Way of Water, because Avatar 3, Ash of Something is coming out next week, and I'm gonna be there day one. I'll tell you that much.
I have not seen that movie. I'll probably enjoy it if I do, but
I'm an Avatar apologist, so
that's
don't
fair.
I don't even wanna see the first one again.
I've seen the
It
first one a lot of times. I've seen the first one
it's been
like
like
3 or 4 times.
20 years. I only watched it once in theaters, like, whatever it came out 20 years
It's
ago.
one of those movies. It's kind of like the opposite of Nightmare Alley, where like, yeah, I get why people hate this movie. I love it. It hits so well. But like, yeah, it's definitely some white savior shit. There's definitely like just a like, oh, I don't want to be disabled, so I'd rather die kind of plot line happening. There's definitely like some bad stuff in that movie. It's pretty well made though.
I just also love how Guillermo del Toro, every time he wins an award or gets to talk about this movie, he always thanks everyone that was involved, like all his like art teams and costume teams and set designers and cinematographers, and then he ends every thank you with "fuck AI,"
Yep.
which just makes me laugh because yeah, this is it just stands out as his own vision, and it shows, man. It looks so good.
Yeah.
It's such a good looking movie, this Frankenstein.
Yeah, one of my things about a lot of film is that if I can't tell who directed it when I'm watching it, I don't know that it's a good film. You know what I mean? If I can't tell who the creative mind or minds were behind this thing, does it say anything creative? Does it really is it distinct? And it is very easy to spot a Guillermo del Toro film,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
And great acting.
Yes, he has a very good he's friends with a lot of very good actors and gets a lot of
Yes.
very good actors on his films.
I think
Have
he's an actor's director. He
Yes.
usually has a really good relationship with them, so like it's usually a pretty good time.
If I had anything to complain about, it's about maybe the last part of the movie. But I won't. It's very minor complaint. And that's all I'll say because I don't want to spoil anything else.
I gotta see it. I'm
You
gonna
do.
try.
You really need to.
I also still need to see Nosferatu, despite the fact that I borrowed it from the library. I never ended up watching it, so
Oh no!
I know.
Did your library have
I've-
late fees?
No, my library does not have late fees, but
Jealous.
I did return it though. I did return it. Because I feel guilty if I don't.
Yeah, it's just good courtesy for other librarian patrons.
Yeah. They did have a couple copies I thought was cool, but I have heard so my stepfather did not like Nosferatu, but I think he's really he doesn't like nudity and sexuality in film very much. and I know that's like kind of a psychosexual exploration of the story, which I'm like, I've been reading DRCL. I'm ready for some weird vampire nonsense. So I'm not that doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, I've got some horror adaptations to watch in the next we'll see if we can swing it over like vacation or something when we have other people around to watch the kids sometimes. My mother-in-law is coming, sister-in-law is coming. Maybe they can manage the children while my husband and I go watch movies.
If
Nice.
if you get caught up and you have time and it fell off your radar, consider adding Sinners onto that list.
Yeah, I'm interested in Sinners. I don't know how I will feel about like I don't I have a love-hate relationship with horror films, but I do like a vampire movie, so it's one I've been thinking about.
It's pretty like it's very genre movie, so it has a lot of like horror stuff and imagery in it, but like it's not like it has like a ton of jump scares. It's just like a handful of jump scares here and there, and it's just
Yeah.
like blood and yeah.
That's fine. I'm fine with the like blood and vampire. I'm fine with the vampire stuff. Jump scares definitely can get me. I don't love those. And I don't like a serial killer. I will never choose to watch a slasher film. Like just don't even try. I
That-
have
you,
no interest.
you know what's so funny is that like my girlfriend, that's the only kind of horror movies she can enjoy. And I try and like suggest kind of like weirder horror movies or horror movies where like the horror is just like it's more nebulous, something like Hereditary, and she's like not cool with it. She's like
It's so
she
funny.
wants like a specific person with a knife coming at you, and if it's not that, like she doesn't want to she doesn't want to deal with it. Like I it's so funny how people are just wired differently.
I don't know if I told you guys this, but we went to Spirit Halloween around Halloween. My daughter and I went. Actually, the whole family went, but my daughter and I were there together. And she saw Ghostface from Scream for the first time. And she was like, "What's that?" And ever since then, she is obsessed with the concept of Scream.
Wow.
She's like, "It's scary, but, like, I'm kind of into Scream." And I'm like, "I will never watch this film with you." Like, I cannot express to you how disinterested I am. It is a cool design, though. And I told her about the painting, the Edvard Munch painting that the Scream, that it's kind of loosely based on, which I was like, "Alright, we can tie it back to art history, so I guess that's fine," but every time she sees Ghostface, she's like, "Look, it's Scream!" Like, yeah,
Nice.
that film you've never seen and your parents have never even seen because we were literally toddlers when it came out, but
Okay, I want to move along from Frankenstein and talk really quickly about. Have I mentioned Darfox, the sequel to Zatch Bell?
Yes, sounds familiar.
Okay, so I probably brought it up, but I was looking through our podcast archive. I don't know if I talked about it like fully. Morgana, did you know that there is a sequel to Zatch Bell?
I did
Or
not.
the Japanese title is Konjiki no Gash, or the Golden Gash.
I never read or watched Sedge Bell.
It's
So
it's a cute and very funny comedy, shonen battle manga. Kind of reminds me of Pokemon with all like the characters, and they get a magic book and a human partner that casts spells for them.
And it's like very slapstick and very like kind
Zany
of
comedy, yeah.
zany and charming, and it's just it doesn't take itself seriously, and it does have like emotional moments, but it's a fun show.
Yeah, it is a standard and was a very popular shonen battle manga, became an anime, and so it ended a while ago. Let's see, when did it air from? Let me just double check. Okay, the manga started in 2001 and went to 2008. The thing is, in 2022, the creator Makoto Daiku, he put out, Zatch Bell 2. He started drawing like a sequel series to this. Hold on, Dar. Let me get you a I got a link to the stream for Kraken Books that helps put it out. But I was always wondering, like, why did Raikou decide to go back to Zatchbell? I know he was drawing a bunch of other things, but it turns out, as I was looking into this week, I'm far more interested in this story about how Makoto Raikou had a total falling out with Shogakukan, because Zatchbell originally ran in Shonen Sunday. That's where Detective Conan runs and all the Rumiko Takahashi stuff runs. There was even a civil trial over shit that happened, Morgana.
Oh.
And I'll try to make it quick, but basically, there are a lot of things that happened where, like, Raikou didn't get along with any of the editors. He wanted to end the series earlier, but the anime was going, so they were like, the editors were trying to convince him to continue the story anyway. So that made more bad blood. After the series ended, he tried to take Shogakukan to district court, and he demanded like 3 million yen in compensation for lost manuscripts of colored pages that he did. This is something that actually happened. They ended up settling for, I think, 500,000, so like a sixth of like what he like wanted or something. Or I think that's what Shogakukan was saying they'd be willing to pay. It was just bad blood in between all around, and I believe, from what I've read, it sounds like Raikou is kind of hard to work with, though, you know, that's a lot of he said, she said things that are happening.
Favorite thing for editors to say about somebody that they didn't like.
Yeah, that they're difficult to work with or whatever. All I know is that after finishing that spell, Raikou declared, "I will never work with these people again." And even when he was complaining about these lost pages, he was naming people by name on his blog.
Like,
Yeah, so he was not happy. He started working for Kodansha and he did a couple series there. Like, there's Animal Land, Dobutsu no Kuni, that was pretty popular. He also did Vector Ball for Shonen magazine. That series suddenly ended, and I was kind of very confused about that, but apparently that was also because he had a falling out with his editors over, like, the direction of that, so he just ended it. And here's the thing. In 2018, Raikou started his own company, Bergden Board, and he got possession of his, like, old manga. So he put out, like, his, you know, sequel series to, like, Animal Land and Vector Ball, and then that's why he started Zatchville 2 for his own publication. He fucking left the major publishers to go, like, self-publish, basically. And what better way to raise some money for yourself or, like, promote your own company than doing a sequel series to one of his most popular works, I guess.
okay, this character got freaking huge. With the,
Oh, yeah.
the Sasuke of the show.
Yes, that's who he was.
He's a beef. What the hell?
I will say I have read some of, like, Zatchville 2, and it's pretty fun. It almost feels more appropriate now that, like, all, like, the monster characters are older.
Okay, hold on. She also got beefed. What
Yes,
what
that is
happened?
the plot point. She got fucking ripped as shit.
What happened in Zatchbell Part 2? They learned
Things
about
are-
they
things are
learned about
drastic.
protein.
Listen, things are drastic, and she was the defense character. She was the, you know, Sakura. And she was always, you know, on defense. Her ability to heal people, and she summoned shields. And that she's at the point where, like, I need to protect people on my own. So she got fucking ripped. And it's great.
Good for her.
Yes. I'm
Paco
enjoying
Fardole.
I'm enjoying Zatchville 2. Zatchville 2 is very good. But I had always wondered, like, why does this exist? And now I kind of know. The manga creator had a falling out with major publishers.
Literally everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I mean, I'm glad he got to keep his stuff, and I hope he enjoys. Because it sounds like he's in a position where he has to milk his popular stuff because now he's on his own.
Yeah, I feel like that is what is happening. But the manga that he's writing for Zatchville 2 has been enjoyable. I've liked it. Okay, that was my what you've been reading. Sorry it took up a lot of time. Darfox, you have anything this week?
No.
Okay. Seamus, you have anything this week?
Mention Beautiful Monster by
Oh, the Suehiro Amaro new manga?
yes, or it's a collection of like 16 of his short stories from the years here. Pretty much all of them are like 81, 82, 83, and then there's like one from like 2000.
Okay, pretty recent. All things considered, like
I
when
was
he
gonna
was
say 2000
drawing
was
stuff.
25 years ago, guys. It's not recent.
I think it's more just like a bunch of 81, and it's like, oh, there's one from like the year 2000 randomly. Not really sure what to say about this beyond I thought it was very good.
Well, how's the mood? Wait, what other works of his have you read? We read Altergrash Inferno for this podcast.
Yeah,
And
I think it's the only other thing I've read by his.
We haven't specifically
Panorama
talked about
Islands.
Panorama, Island, but
That was like an adaptation of like an actual novel.
yes. Edogawa Rampo one, yeah.
Mhm.
So where does this fall?
Oh, like Ultra Aggression Inferno. It's like
Okay.
just multiple people being murdered and just people shitting in people and like fucking corpses and fucking wounds and
Is there weird eyeball stuff?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some on this page you linked me. I scrolled past it, but I won't scroll back there again
Okay.
for
Yeah, it's
for the few listeners or viewers we might have on the stream.
I feel like with Suehiro Maro, if you look up his artwork, some of his most famous stuff has to do with weird eyeball shit. So
I wouldn't say there's a huge amount of weird eyeball shit. A lot more just like sex stuff.
okay. I'm
Like
sure it's
weird
drawn
sex stuff.
beautifully.
Yes, it is drawn beautifully.
But it's just like the most messed up shit ever.
Like watch these two teenagers who've both been blinded in their arms, chops off, have sex. By the guy, one of them was married to, and the guy tried to kill the husband, but it didn't work out.
Hmm.
Where's the one about? There's someone with like a brother like shitting in his sister's mouth.
Yeah, I've heard that this is kind of like that. God bless him.
Literally just sounds like typical Maro Suehiro.
Yep,
It really does.
yep. Sometimes it's amazing that this stuff gets published in English, but there's some like real wholesome manga that still hasn't frickin' made it over. Not that I don't. It's fine that this is in English. I'm just kind of always like, when somebody's like, "Oh, this will never happen in English because of X, Y, and Z reasons," I'm like, "Have you seen what is available in English?" Because
Yeah.
I feel like the scope
Listen,
of what's
Morgana.
possible is broader than you think.
Listen, there's a lot of sickos over here, okay? There's a
Like,
market
Oh, I
for this
know.
stuff.
This was done by Pummel Publications, who also did like, I think it was like one of the early sports mangas about judo and another early manga about baseball. If you want to get an idea
So
of like,
sickos.
Oh yeah, they had Bat Kid
yep,
by Kazuo Inoue. Ikaguri Young Judo Master by Eiichi Fukui. Yeah. I'm sure Beautiful Monster is selling really well for them, though. Suehiro Maro is a very recognizable name. Like I said, there's a lot of sickos out there.
And I truly, his art is beautiful. It really, really is. I've read Panorama Island, and I've glanced through his other stuff, and it's beautiful. It is.
Yeah. He's an
Uh,
amazing artist.
he's
It's
just a
just
freaking weirdo.
it's just there's a lot of scat and there's a lot of eyeballs. A lot of just a lot of stuff. A lot of extreme subject matters that he likes to cover.
It wasn't his sister. It was like his maid who he was in love with. He shat in
Great,
her mouth.
great distinction.
Is
I'm
that
glad we
better?
moved to incest.
No, but it's like, you know, it's different. And then he's like, because yeah, at the end of the day, he's like, when I'm dead, I want you to wait. And then it's like the end of it is like he's like, oh, when will you wait? Will you be my grave when I die? Basically, he's like, when I die, will you eat me? Having sex with her and shitting in her mouth. I was like, this is great. I struggle to articulate why. And then I was like, I think I need to like find people who have like written stuff about him who I can be like, okay, they articulate this better than me. Why do you describe as like this particular panel?
What did they say, Seamus?
I haven't really found a whole lot actually. I found like one Australian guy who had like a YouTube thing. He was talking about he couldn't actually read Beautiful Monster because it's like Australian censorship laws means he couldn't actually import it.
Yes. Yep. That's a thing.
There was one other one though I do want to mention. Where is it? Oh, there's a guy who like lives in underneath a toilet and just like drags people down.
Sounds like good horror.
But like he's literally swimming around and shit like.
Is this the boy in the cover?
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, that's him.
Is that just toilet paper? Is that?
Oh god, that context
Yeah.
just makes that so much worse. Well, I'm
There was
glad to
one
hear that you
other
liked it.
specific one I wanted to mention, and now I'm like, what the fuck was this?
As you flip through
I had to
all
get
these
my
horrible ideas.
I had to get my safety flask for this conversation. Just so I felt okay.
Dar, what is in that flask? Because I know it's not alcohol.
Oh,
What
okay,
is it?
I found
it's
it.
empty.
Yes, there was like the story about like this woman who was like having an affair with like the driver, like a
Okay.
rich family, and then he murders her, and then it's like, oh, the husband wanted to be with him all along, and then the driver murders the husband, and it turns out actually the driver just wants to be with the kid, who I think took his eye out there. So there's a lot of like, oh, and how he kills the wife is he like shoves a stick up her and then breaks it off, and then he like bashes the husband's head in with a hammer. Yeah, it was really good. I was like, Herman Yao should like adapt this stuff. Like 90s Herman Yao when he's like, you know, although I guess Anthony Wong wouldn't really fit into any of these stories.
Man's a chameleon. He'll fit into any role.
Yeah, maybe a younger Anthony Wong. Yeah, that was the other thing. I guess a lot of it is they're fairly young, most of the characters, I think. Probably like
Nobody
in
wants to
teens,
see
early
old
20s.
people shooting into each other's mouths. Like,
I mean,
There's a bit
somebody
of that
does.
as well, yeah. There's like a doctor like fucking the wound of like a stomach wound of like a stitched up surgery of a girl after like a
Oh.
nurse was having sex with her. And at the end of it, he like runs out into the hospital garden and all like the nurses are having sex with her, screaming like no more men, no more men, and he just like starts like smashing their heads into each other. That's in the story. It was very good as well.
A lot of random thoughts.
I vote the rest of us don't read this one. I'm glad it's out there for people like Seamus who can appreciate it, but I think I'm good.
I need to get it's someone adapted, I think it's story he called Midori. And there's like an animation of it. I was like, I think I need to read. I think I need to watch that now.
I think the interesting thing is a lot of those stories sound familiar to me from Ultra Gash Inferno.
See, we read it so long ago. I don't remember anything from it.
I remember it at all.
The toilet story sounds familiar to me. Unfortunately.
Maybe.
Was he like dumped in the toilet as a baby and grew up there?
Yes.
Okay, that could be the same one then.
I'm sure that one's out of print now. There's no way that does that still exist? Yeah, there's no way.
You
What's
ever,
interesting too is they actually drew like the penis like a penis, but it was like all blacked out.
okay, yeah. I think I've seen that before.
Get by those Japanese censor laws for genitalia. Yep. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So,
We're all
anything else, Shane?
speechless.
Yeah, basically.
My knees got weak at some point during that conversation. Does it happen to
Yeah,
anybody else when you hear gross stuff?
There's like other stuff that I was like, you know what? I don't need to talk about this in the podcast.
I'm glad you gave us only the wholesome highlights here.
Yes, Jesus. I fear what you left out. So,
I think it was the like fucking the hole. Like
yeah.
that's
Oh
just,
no,
mhm.
there's like other like stuff with stuff coming out of people's bodies where you're like,
Yeah.
what is going on here?
I can only imagine.
Like animals or bats. Yeah, like some guy just opened his pants and bats start flying out of his crotch.
I mean,
that's actually the
that
like
that happens to me. I don't. It seems normal.
probably like the least disgusting thing because like you don't see the orifice where it's coming out of.
Also, it's just kind of weird.
it's just good comedy.
Also,
Someone
then you just
shitting
get
out bats.
like there's like panels where it's like the rising sun is in the background of a panel, or like you see the Japanese flag and some soldiers dressed like they're from the 1930s, and I'm like, he's probably making a point about Japanese nationalism or fascism and maybe how destructive it is.
But
and
how can you
class.
tell when there's so much poop?
To be fair, it is a lot of like you. I don't know. That's why I was like, surely people have written stuff about this that like I can just be like, yeah, I'm just going to say what this person wrote because they're probably more talented than I am. But like, there's definitely like class and nationalism stuff. I'd say you could read into this.
Well, Seamus, I wish you the best of luck finding all that material for yourself. As the three of us will not be joining you.
My worry is it's probably not out there or like all that hard to. Because I'm like, who writes about like Chihiro Maro in 2025? Like, is that even like a thing anymore?
Probably not outside of Japan.
I'm sure he has a dedicated fan base, and they more than a couple of them probably have a blog
Sickos.
or even a YouTube channel.
The YouTube videos are a lot of like, oh, look at this fucked up thing stuff. So that one Australian guy who actually like he actually had some like other collection, but like he said, he couldn't actually. I should mention his channel. It actually seemed like an interesting channel. Famicom Collector. I only came across him today.
Famicom.
That's the Japanese NES.
Oh, you mean the family computer?
Yes. Okay, let's just move along with Seamus then. Thank you. Morgana, you have anything this week?
I do, kind of. I have started reading but have not finished Land Volume 1 by Kazumi Yamashita.
Oh, we need to cover that.
Yamashita. Yes, so this was published by Yen this year, and I do a newsletter for librarians and comic shop retailers every month, and at the end of the year I do like my favorite releases of the year, which means that I need to catch up on some reading. So I finally started Land because I know this is one of my favorites of the year. I just have not had a chance to fully read the full volume.
Is it a triple volume? I forgot.
It is. It's like almost 650 pages, I think.
Yes, that was the other reason why we were like, I don't know when we're gonna get around to this.
Yes, I was reading this morning while my daughter was in swim lessons. I think I got about a little over 100 pages in that time. So it reads quick, but it's still a chunky book. And it's great. It's absolutely beautiful. Kazumi Yamashita was actually in San Francisco last weekend. She did a couple signings with the DeYoung Museum. There's an exhibit there right now of her work, among others. I did not go, but a couple of my coworkers went. It went very well.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she did. She did a signing. So, yeah, she's apparently really lovely. She is part of a group of mangaka who are slowly dying. They're getting older. So it's really nice, not only that we have her, this is her first work in print in English. Um, and Land, and then Wonder Boy is also coming out next week, or just came out this week. Possibly it's coming out in January. I think the date might have moved. But anyway, we have another book of hers coming out soon as well. And she's just incredible. I mean, just this like classic, beautiful manga artwork. Dakazu, you talked about her nonfiction manga before. I have not read
She
that.
saved the oldest Western building in that one town.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
My hope is that one day that'll come over in English as well, because that's super cool. But Land is great. It's just, again, I'm only 100 something pages into this 600-page tome, but it's just so expressive and evocative, and it's really special. And not to toot Yen's horn too much, I guess I should probably do that usual disclaimer of I work for Yen. Everything I say is my own opinion. But not to toot Yen's horn too much, but it's a nice, beautiful hardcover, the print edition. So it's a, I mean, you could hurt somebody with it if you wanted to. It's pretty hefty. Carrying it to I asked my daughter which book I should bring with me. I gave her a choice of a couple. This one and Neighborhood Craftsman, which I also want to read, which we published this year. And she was like, "This one, it's big." I was like, "Yeah, it sure is." But yes, it's exciting. It's out now. I'm enjoying it. If you like horror, especially like folk horror, folk tales, it is a story about a town, a village really, where the people there need to follow the strict rules of 4 gods who are placed at each cardinal direction, right? North, south, east, and west. And that includes going to bed before the sun goes down, or like being in your house before the sun goes down. And any twins that are born, one must be gotten rid of because children in multiples are bad luck. And our main character, On, her twin sister, she was a twin, and her twin sister was sacrificed to the gods, left on the mountains. But maybe she didn't die. This is kind of the implication. So there's this kind of supernatural edge to it, kind of Japanese folkloric edge to it. Also kind of, from what I've gathered so far, this distinction between the poor and the rich, whereas like On and her family are very poor, kind of rice farmers. Also, I didn't mention, but everybody in the village, once they reach 50, must, I mean, they don't live beyond 50. They are, once they hit 50, they're brought to the mountains as well. They have something called a chime, and they are bundled up in a casket and brought to the mountains if they live that long. So it's really cool. It's really weird. I have only scratched the surface of it, which is why I said I only kind of have something to talk about. But yeah, I do think we should read it eventually. But yeah, it's a big one.
I'm penciling it into our schedule for next year. Oh my god, it's gonna take us forever to get through Finished Junku Journeys and Buddha.
I was gonna say, by the time we get to it, there might be a second volume out, and then we'll have like 1,200 pages to read. So,
Yo boy. All right, nice. Thank you, Morgana. Okay, let us end what you've been reading. Before we get to our main segment, I want to quickly talk about next week. It's finally happening. We're finally going to get to talk about Manga Maverick's books. I think Lum emailed me like in June, I want to say. July, maybe? It was like, hey, you want to see like the new Manga Maverick's books that we're publishing? I was like, yeah, sure. I did warn Lum that our schedule was very like packed. So I was not lying when I said, we'll We'll get to it eventually. It might take a while. But yeah, we're
Still
squeezing it in.
2025.
Yeah, we're squeezing in for 2025. So we're gonna do a triple dip on Manga Mavericks books. We'll be talking about Alternative, Senpai no Kohai, and The Murderer and Her Runaway Desire. We did receive all 6 of the new books that they put out right when they started, but those are the ones that we want to focus on. So we might mention the other ones briefly. But yeah, finally, we will finally talk about Manga Mavericks books. Thank you for waiting. Next week. Stay tuned for that. Okay, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be time for some Jianghu Journeys. And we're back, everybody. It is time for Jianghu Journeys, where we are watching Samurai Champloo, Michiko and Hatchin, and Cowboy Bebop in tandem. This is episode number 8. And for this, we watched episode 8 of Cowboy Bebop, Waltz for Venus, episode 9 of Samurai Champloo, which was Beatbox Bandits, and then episode 9 of Michiko and Hatchin, The Chocolate Girl in Love. As with all Jianghu Journeys, we're not going to go at these in order. We're just going to kind of free talk and talk about what we want. I don't have a lot to say about these.
Really, I think there's one that has one main thing to say.
Are you talking about Samurai Champloo? And then I was hit with like 20 seconds of Masaki Yuasa randomly, and I was like, what? I didn't know he did a part in this. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes,
think
the purple haze.
Morgan,
yeah.
did you watch the wrong episode?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember if I.
Did you watch the one with the Tengu?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
That was
This
the
is right one.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because as I was looking at the list, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's number 9. I think this is the one, and it felt okay, but like because Samurai Champloo has no order, like no through line as much as the others, I was like, oh, it could have been the wrong one, but yes, the Tengu, that's the one.
And their weed farm,
Yeah,
and their plan to take over the government by pacifying everybody in the country.
to be honest, it's not a bad idea. I feel like maybe we should do that. I don't know. And I say this as somebody who does not like weed very much. So
Yeah, I think people understand weed a little better now, and we have a lot more like you know ideas of the detriments to like not especially smoking weed, but like uh the way some people react to it and stuff like that. Just this is definitely seems like it was written by somebody who lived in a country where there's not a lot of drugs. Because like the tripping on weed probably doesn't make all that shit happen like that.
It does not.
yeah, in my experience, also my very limited experience, and I think I've talked about this before, I just get grumpy. I become surly if I ingest weed. And I've only ever ingested, I've never smoked it. So personally, I don't think that'd be very effective for me. It would not make me peaceful. It would make me want to deck somebody. So
I mean, they burned up an entire field. That's a lot of smoke. So
yeah,
maybe.
I'd probably just fall asleep. I think everybody just fall asleep at that point. Don't you? Like just just let it take over. I don't know.
It also depends on like the strain and everything. But yeah, I'm sure Japanese creators are not, proficient in any of that kind of stuff. So they're giving their best approximation. And you know what? They're like, get Masaki Yuasa for this because it's going to be weird and wacky.
Was that actually him?
Yes, I checked.
Wow.
I mean,
That
I thought it
tracks.
was pretty obvious based on like
No,
how the
yeah,
animation was going.
it definitely looked like Masaki Yuasa stuff.
Yeah, like I didn't think about it, but now that you mention it, it's like very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is not my favorite episode of Cowboy Bebop either. I have no problem with it. It's just kind of there. It's the episode before we get Ed. That's kind of the only distinction it has for me. I do like that we get a little bit of like, Spike is a good person sort of stuff from it.
I think he's good to people outside of the Jianghu. Like she's not part of the game. So like he's not gonna like treat her as like somebody that's part of this fraternity. You know, does that make any sense? That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I mean, but he's also like we've seen other instances where he's kind of just like a good dude across the board.
He does
Um,
seem to be nicer to ladies.
oh yeah, because Lupin the Third was a major inspiration for
Yeah.
this.
Mhm.
I wouldn't call Spike like a womanizer, but there's definitely kind of that like machismo sort of thing about him, not in a gross way, not in a way that I find, you know, annoying or upsetting, but he's definitely got like I'm a dude kind of vibes, if that makes any sense.
And even Lupin, there's a lot of Lupin stories where he's like sort of romancing like a young innocent woman, but like he never actually does anything with them, and he kind of just helps them out. And he usually like just he usually like leaves them in a better place than where he found them. Because in those type of stories, he's like the thief with the heart of gold, and he's not gonna like do something terrible to like an innocent person. Um,
I mean, it
like
depends on your interpretation and
yeah,
whose interpretation it is.
yeah, like Casa Cagliostro. There's a bunch of like movies where he does. There's a bunch of like basically Casa Cagliostro ripoffs where like he comes across like a young woman, and like it kind of seems like he's gonna be skeevy, but like he doesn't actually ever do anything with them.
No,
Mhm.
because he's a gentleman thief, right?
I kind of like the ones where he's a little bit more skeevy. They're fun sometimes.
To a point. There are
Yeah.
definitely like some interpretations. I feel like some of the newer Lupin stuff gets a little dark in a way that I'm like, I don't know if this is what I want out of my Lupin. Like I want it to be silly. I want all of his sexual advances to be reciprocated or thwarted. I don't want them to be weird. Like I don't want it to get into weird territory or dark territory.
Makes sense. Seamus, do you have anything to say about these 3 episodes? Any thoughts?
Cowboy Bebop episode, I was just like, oh, that's an episode. I watched it this time. I was like, this is great. I love this episode.
I'm surprised.
I think it's partly because I've watched like a bunch of Kinji Fukusaka movies. There's like one particular character who reminds me a lot of Rocco, or like an actor slash character. Where I was like, the voice sounds a bit similar. He even kind of looks kind of like some of them.
Did you watch the Japanese?
Yes, I was
Uh,
watching like Japanese. Yeah,
I'm sure Morgana and Darfox watched the English dub, but
Mhm.
in Japanese, Rocco was played by Lord Frieza himself, Ryusei
Really?
Nakao. Yep. Kind of interesting role for him to play. Not a like flamboyant villain or anything. Oh, even in the Samurai Champloo episode, it's told by a flashback by the one guy with glasses who's working as like at the gate.
Yeah.
That was voiced by in Japanese, voiced by Toshihiko Seki. Darfox, you would know him as Iruka Sensei from Naruto.
Ah, okay.
Most
In
modern anime fans will know him as Muzan, the big bad from Demon Slayer.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, definitely. See, in the English dub, he was voiced by the same guy who does Chief Aramaki in the Ghost in the Shell dubs, and he has a very distinct voice. Um,
That's fun.
so I recognize him from that.
Yeah, I like Waltz for Venus. I like the music theme that plays from like the music box that Rocco gave to his sister. It's a really
Yeah.
pretty theme.
It's definitely adds to like the Cowboy Bebop soundscape. It's like having watched this episode multiple times on TV and Adult Swim and stuff. It's like very memorable to me, like that song and some of the visuals of this episode. Um, it does
The
stand out to me.
there's this like I have this like sonic memory of the tune from the music box playing and then going right into real folk blues for the ending.
Yes.
It's just like I can't actually hear the dun 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 without it then going like bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, I mean, the plot wise, what's happening in Waltz for Venus is kind of pretty typical. It's a story we've all seen before,
Mhm.
but it's done well, and surprisingly, like things turn out very bad for Rocco, but the crew themselves land a bunch of bounties for a change. They're pretty successful.
They're only successful bounty we've seen so far. And then Faith since just blow it all in the casino.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet episode. Everything about it is it's good and bad.
It's the whole series.
I forgot that Faye, like, she's going around town, fucking up bars, trying to get info. And then there's a scene where she busts in on two guys having sex.
I know, and she just like sticks her gun in one guy's mouth. Doesn't even care. She's like, I don't care what you're doing here. I just need to know where this guy is.
I don't know if them like gay sex happening in anime. That might be one of my first instances where I actually saw that, where it was very clear that was the case, and nothing implied. It's kind of a shame. It's kind of used as like a one-off gag, though.
Yeah.
That's a thinker. Yeah. Well, what was the first time I actually ever saw like
Oh, definitely that.
explicit gay? Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be explicit, Dar, but
Or no, I mean
very clear.
explicit as in
clear. Yeah.
Yeah. Like not implied. Yeah, definitely wasn't any in Dragon Ball, so
No.
and at that
No.
time, like that's the most I would have seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think about I definitely was aware of like gay content, queer content in anime like later, but this would have been Cowboy Bebop was definitely the most adult thing I was watching at the time I was watching it at, 12, 13 years old. It's funny actually. So I was at my mom's for Thanksgiving and my daughter's into Pokemon right now, as I mentioned. And my mom was like, I remember when Morgana was into Pokemon, but I don't know anything about it. I remember her being into all these things, but I didn't really know much, except there was that one I liked. I said, Cowboy Bebop. She goes, yeah, that one. I don't think she remembers. I don't know if she saw this scene. I don't know how much she actually like sat down and watched it, but it was one that she would see kind of in the background. And I think she liked, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I think she liked it because it reminds her of like old kind of action films, like James Bondy type of things that she does enjoy. Um, but yeah, it was definitely. I think Bebop was the most kind of adult with the most adult themes that I was watching at that early an age. So it wasn't any. I would not have been aware of any queerness in anime until later. And like Cardcaptor Sakura, what was available in English at the time, even though that's a super queer series, that they had snuffed out every opportunity for that. And also Sailor Moon would have snuffed out every opportunity for queerness. So yeah, cousins, not lovers.
That makes all the really intimate scenes make more sense, right? They're the
Oh
cousins.
yeah. I was like, I don't think I was ever that close with any of my cousins.
We haven't really talked about the Michiko and Hatchin episode.
I actually like it quite a bit.
It's nice. It has a similar like melancholy tone to
Mhm.
Waltz for Venus, but I will say while we were watching that, and it's all about Hatchin going by herself and befriending like a circus girl. I was just like, oh god, are we gonna watch the circus girl fall during the thing at the end?
Yeah.
But she
Stressful,
doesn't.
right?
She
No,
doesn't.
she does not. Rita.
And now Hatchin is like, can I join the circus with you? She's made a real friend. Maybe her first.
Isn't it
We're
cute? Yeah.
9 episodes in, and finally.
Yeah, that's why I like this episode, I think, because I think it shows I think a lot of Hatchin-centric episodes, as we've discussed before, are a little bit lackluster. They're not as dynamic because Michiko is a very dynamic character and steals a lot of the limelight. I like this because it allows Hatchin to be a little bit more to, like, push her own boundaries a little bit. She talks to adults a little bit more. She's a little bit more
She's being her own character.
yeah, she stands up for Rita at some point. You know, she really, like she becomes a little bit more interesting and relatable as a character as well. Plus, it's a sweet story, you know.
Yeah, all the previous episodes that focused on her were like, man, it sure does suck to be Hatchin. Abused at the orphanage, now stuck on the run with a criminal. You know, is her dad even the dad that they're looking for is even her actual dad?
Is he alive?
Yeah.
Like, does he care?
Mm-hmm. I really like that scene where they decide to go look for the Maria that bleeds and like supposed to grant wishes, and they get there and they're just tearing it down. I was like, oh no, how sad.
That's such a like. I feel like that's such the tone of the series too. Like, oh, your dreams are within reach if only you can get to this thing, and like this thing is completely unattainable.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't exist,
Mm-hmm.
isn't around, getting replaced. It was all not true. But yeah, Hachin found some friendship. That was nice.
Kind of worried for a minute about the guy that she was crushing on, but he was very straightforward and like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
Oh, like he was gonna be a creeper or something?
yeah, or they were going to flirt with it in the story somehow. But he was like, oh, she's young. She'll be plenty of guys.
What I
Yeah.
and I kind of appreciated too that he didn't. It's not like he was rejecting her feelings as being honest, right? Like he was. I feel like even though he could not reciprocate her feelings, there was a certain amount of like, I know she feels this way. I understand she feels this way, but like she's going to be okay. You know, it wasn't just like pushing it, like brushing it off necessarily. He couldn't reciprocate, but he cared about her just with
Not in
the
the way she wanted.
with the appropriate limits. You know, he was not a scum. He was sleeping with some lady, but he was not a scumbag. Okay,
Yeah, he's gonna leave the circus so he can be a father. He seems like he's being responsible
good
as
job,
well as you
Gino.
can in that world, in that setting. Yeah, Seamus, you have any thoughts about the chocolate girl in love?
No, I really liked it as well. It was definitely. I was kind of thinking it's not an episode you would see with the other two because the other two don't have a 10-year-old.
I mean, we're gonna get
Because
Edward soon in Cowboy Bebop, but
yeah, but they're not really like. From what I remember, you don't really get like an episode focused on them like you do here.
right, and Edward's gonna be very capable in their own way.
It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have a fun discussion next episode of Jianghu Journeys.
Can't wait.
I kind of like how Reed's like a bit older than her. She kind of comes across as like, oh, I'm way more like mature than you. But it's like, kind of, but not really.
Right.
In some ways, yes. In other ways, you are basically just a 10-year-old.
Yep. Yep. Which is such a 10-year-old thing. Like even the kids in general, they love to like act like they're older than they are or think because they're older than others they know better. It's like, dude, you're still a kid. Trust me, like you don't rush. Rita at some point was like, I can't wait to be a grown up, and I was like, girl, please, please don't rush. It's great to be 10, okay?
Yeah, they're like good foils for each other, Rita and Hachin. Because Hachin has gone through so much like strife already. She's probably actually more mature in Rita in a lot of ways. I hope their friendship continues. Question mark. Man,
It's
the
There's at
future.
least, I think there's a couple more episodes. He's definitely one more.
Okay.
It's so funny how little I remember of both Samurai Champloo and Michiko and Hatchin because I've only seen them through once. But like I could recite Cowboy Bebop. You know,
Oh, yeah.
like I've just seen it, and I don't even feel like I've seen it that many times. But maybe because I was younger too when I watched it, it kind of imprinted. I had zero memory of the Samurai Champloo episode. It's just I was like, there are 2 episodes I remember. It's the ukiyo-e one and the baseball one, and everything else is like it's like I'm watching it for the first time.
That's funny.
It's kinda great. I mean, it's kinda like, "Oh, I get to experience this all over again." Um, but I didn't remember this with Michiko and Hatchin either, and I had only watched it in, like, what, maybe 2018 for the first time? Wasn't, like, that long ago. My brain is just not what it used to be, guys.
I did like what was that kid's name who was after her? Mexico. I can't remember what his.
Oh, Masao, I think?
Yes, where he was like, "I'll be the one who like will break off this relationship, but I won't." He was like trying to use like Hannah as like a spy. Once he
Oh,
found
yeah,
out
he was
she was a
fun.
girl.
I was like, look, there's another 10-year-old being like a stupid 10-year-old, like a typical one.
Somehow that's so much more fun to watch than teenagers being stupid. Like, little kids being, like, flirty and stupid is fun and silly, and if they were, like, 13 or 14, I'd be like, "Oh god." You know?
Look at these dumb teenagers that have dumb
Right?
teenage problems.
It's so funny.
Yeah, Seamus, do you have any opinion about Beatbox Bandits that we talked about first?
I thought it was like a decent episode, but I mean, like when I like put like third of the tree, I did like the jogger, particularly when he showed up the second time.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a good gag. That was a good gag. The second appearance that you're talking about when they're like, "Oh no, the sun's setting. Mugen's supposed to be back. We're gonna be executed. They were being crucified too. Like Jesus. Hey, someone's coming!" And then it's a jogger.
Not for his health.
I said to my husband after we watched that episode, I was like, Gene had very few lines this episode. He did an easy job, that VA. He's just,
Yep.
I did like. There's also a bit at the end. There's like a photo of like they're all high on drugs, and there's just like a frog dancing, just like in on the ground, just like a. I don't know for some reason that was like a memorable moment for me as well. Yeah, there was like a few very funny that, and I don't know why, but like the whole when they're like going through the fields and the way they like appear and disappear. I think maybe it's because like you tend to get like that thick outline on the characters, but when they like appear and disappear, that just was like I really like that little bit. Yeah, we got into like the little Yuasa bit. I just thought it was so funny. He's like, "Oh, the Eco Iki survive," and they're like basically trying to do like the Summer of Love. Is their plan to take over Japan?
With that wacky tobacco. I'm actually surprised that we've been talking for almost 20 minutes about these 3 episodes. Because when I
Yeah.
finished all 3, I was like, I don't know how much I have to say. I didn't think they were bad episodes.
No, but they're kind of all equally fine. You know?
Yeah, they're definitely not the top of any of the 3 shows. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I think I don't know why this time, but like the Waltz with Venus, when I'm like, okay, this is a very good episode. The Hannah Rita stuff, I was like, this is very good. Cowboy Bebop, I was like, that is alright.
Is it because you've been watching a lot of those Hong Kong cinema and maybe they have like similar themes about like, oh, I just need to get out of this like criminal underworld?
Well, no, I think it's more like Kichi Fukusaki because that's a lot of movies was doing that I've been watching recently or that.
Oh, okay.
Even the little bits like when Rocco gets flipped by Spike and they like do like a brief shot of the sky. Like you're saying, the whole thing with the music and the team.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Is
of them
this?
think that they're
Oh,
really
sorry. Go
like
ahead.
Venus seems like very Middle Eastern, or like a lot of people from the Middle East seem to end up there, or at least the part of it they show.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. Like, is this the only episode that takes place on Venus?
I believe so.
There's a lot more Middle Eastern imagery in the movie, but I don't think they went back
Yes.
to Venus for it. I think there are.
That's on
That
Mars.
was on Mars, right?
That's on Mars, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, actually, for all three of these series, diversity's pretty high. Even for Samurai Champloo, where in theory it takes place in a like ethnically homogenous Japan, I feel like there's a
I think Watanabe. Wait, no. Is it Watanabe? Or am I like totally
Yeah,
getting his name wrong?
yeah, Shinichiro Watanabe.
Okay. Oh yeah. I think like I was reading a bit of like there's like an interview link from Wikipedia where he talks about how like he really liked the movies and all from that time period, but he was also like a lot of people who like this time period are basically like Japanese racists.
yeah,
He didn't
yeah.
like so say it like as straight as that, but he was very much like they have a very particular view of this movie that or like Japan at the time through these movies that like I am actively against. So that's why like Mugen is like Ryukyuan, so he's not even like
Mhm.
Japanese. So like he was
Yeah.
very deliberately like pushing again. He's like, I am not portraying it like how those people want to portray it.
I really appreciate that. I think he's really good at that, you know, because he does it in Bebop too. I mean, Bebop is we're looking at the whole universe, right? Not just Earth or Japan, and he shows the breadth of what's possible on all of these different planets. And of course, Michiko and Hatchin taking place in Brazil or a pseudo Brazil. Brazil is an extraordinarily ethnically diverse country. And if it was not ethnically diverse, I'd be very concerned.
Yeah, I believe it. Carol and Tuesday, which he did. It's basically about like immigrants. So, and that takes place on Mars and very diverse.
I still haven't seen that one.
It's
Takes
got
place
good
on
music.
Mars.
Yeah, it takes place on Mars. You didn't know that, Seamus?
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought that was just like taking place on Earth.
Because it kind of could take place on Earth. Like the sci-fi aspect is a little bit superfluous, but like
It only really comes in at the end of that series. And I think that's what people complain about. They're like, this got too political. It's like, bro, come on. Who made this show? Think about it.
Yeah, I'm always just like, yeah. I mean, I guess people don't like to see.
It's like
You
complaining
know.
about basset hounds in like Mamoru Oshii movie or something.
Well, I mean, I don't know that people realize how much of Shinichiro Watanabe's worldview is present in his other work, like Cowboy Bebop. You know, I don't think you can sit here and go, "Wow, what a political series this is," but I think you can see some criticisms and some, you know, I mean, even just like what Seamus was saying, this interest in showing diversity that, I mean, what other anime were doing that at this time? There were very few that were set outside of Japan, and even if they were, you know, were characters depicted in any way other than Japanese and or white passing, because there's definitely a whole bunch of white people who sit around being like, all the characters in anime are white. So
Black Lagoon. When was Black Lagoon? Was that a few years after this?
probably. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah, it's a very diverse one.
But they are few and far between. And, you know, let's not look at Ranma and their depiction of Chinese people, for example.
Like we talked about. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if there's a through line between these three episodes, but I guess not really.
The only thing I
Maybe-
think was scammers in Samurai Champloo and Michiko and Hatchin at the very start. I noticed that bit. Or was it
Oh, scalpers.
Or no,
Yeah.
Hannah got the fake map and the other ones got the fake permits.
Oh, right.
Impossible hope is the theme. We've got Roko's sister who's blind and he wants to save her from her illness, her Venus sickness. We've got Jin and Fu, who are hoping against hope that Mugen will not be a jackass and will come back with what they need. And
I
and
feel like you're
we've
stretching that one a little bit.
I'm extremely stretching it. And then we've got, Rita really hoping to go see the Maria and the weeping Maria and get her wish granted. Impossible hope all around.
I would have believed it more if you said like the hope from Samurai Champloo was those warrior priests that wanted to take over and pacify Japan with wacky tobacco.
Well, Samurai Champloo Cowboy Bebop connection is plants.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah.
Really important and expensive plants, though I think the plant in Bebop is more of both important and expensive.
I have a question about the Cowboy Bebop episode. At the end, Rocco gets shot and dies. But also, like, the plant that he was holding gets, shattered and withers up. But it was still the plant that they needed to fix his sister's blindness.
It
And
was
at
the
the
seeds. That's what they were able to use somehow
Okay.
without explaining it.
I wasn't clear though. So Spike has the seeds. He's the one who pays for the sister's surgery, obviously.
With the seeds.
With
that's
the
why.
seeds, but I wasn't clear on whether it was the sale of the seeds because they were so expensive, or if it was they took those seeds and got from those the material they needed. They planted them, got the seed because they said seedlings.
Yeah, it wasn't very clear.
That I
but
couldn't figure out. My husband and I were discussing that and couldn't really land on
maybe
a,
it was both. Who knows? Maybe
whatever.
it wasn't important.
But the point is that Spike could have cashed in and walked off, and instead he used that money to save some stranger's sister.
Mhm.
And that's why he is a good boy, and that's why so much of the stupid syndicate bullshit is needless. But I'm always going to harp on about that too. I don't care about that. I just want to see him being a nice ruffian.
I mean, it's only going to get worse from here on out.
I
then we're
know.
gonna-
I know. It's fine. I know what
Wait
I've
till we
gotten
hit
into.
Jupiter Jazz. Oh boy, that's going to be a fun discussion.
At least the music's good.
Super Jazz is okay. Some good stuff in that. Oh no, wait. Super Jazz. Oh, shouldn't I think is Jupiter Jazz the one where he has the big poofy jacket?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good set of episodes. I know it's like lore heavy, but that's just good stuff in that.
Isn't Jupiter Jazz the one with that one character that we got to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's mostly what I was referencing. So
I thought you were just
Queerness in anime.
yeah. I thought you were just referencing the fact that it's a lore episode.
what else was I gonna say? Oh, when Morgana was talking about when we were talking about Spike and the blind sister, and then we were relating it to Lupin and his representation in Caso Cagliostro, the Gentleman Thief. How it wasn't very sexual. I was just thinking in my head. Remember in the Netflix live action Cowboy Bebop, they tried to give Spike some weird sex stuff during the sex dungeon episode?
Wait, sex stuff?
I think I may have had a trauma response and blocked that out. I don't remember that at all. And I
think you were also
don't...
blocking because that was the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar episode where
Oh.
the fighting guy was black, but then like the actor talking was white.
Yeah, no, I hated that.
And you were incensed.
It's because it's bad. It's
Rightfully
bad.
so.
It is like in so many other ways they got the casting right. That's one of the things I can say for that Bebop show is that there's some good casting choices made.
But they made them say some dumb lines and
that
add some dumb characteristics.
Whitewashing the black exploitation character feels like, I don't know,
Oh, yeah.
sin
feels
on
wrong.
sin. I can't
it's
handle
wrong.
it.
It's
just
wrong.
It's an abomination.
Well, I'll probably never have to reference the Netflix one again because we moved past. No, I'm just gonna come up during Jupiter Jazz. I'm sorry. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna keep bringing it up.
Yeah, because that character is just like the lounge person in that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's random. That's just
We don't have to talk about it now, though.
random.
Lounge person. What?
Yeah,
I-
we'll
you
talk
know
about
what?
it later.
I don't want
Oh, I think okay.
Like
yeah,
the
no,
the hosts or whatever.
we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
I love every time I bring it up. Seamus is like, "Please stop giving me this information that I never want to
No,
hear."
like I watched all of maybe 2 minutes of that, and I was like, "Yep, I've seen enough. I don't need to spend any more time on this."
It could have gone so far, and it just we're not talking about it. We're not
Yeah.
talking about it. Let's move
Yeah.
on.
Our life is rich because we still have Cowboy Bebop.
Is there anything else that we should mention about these 3 episodes we watched? Any other part that we didn't bring up?
I like the weed. I like the part in the Cowboy Bebop episode where they make it pretty explicit. I think this is the first time they make it really explicit that like in the actual text of the show that sorry, my brain is breaking. That Spike is kind of like a Bruce Lee fanboy
Yes.
or a Bruce Lee
yeah.
analog because he basically parrots Bruce Lee's famous like be like water speech in that interview that they had in that Black Void. I don't know what interview that was, but I've seen it. It's just all black around them.
Oh, I actually didn't get that. I always thought that was an Aikido reference.
No, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a Bruce Lee, be like water.
That makes more sense.
What's
Yeah.
funny, that philosophy in martial arts must cross various disciplines because the idea of letting your opponent's weight work against them is a big thing in Tai Chi as well.
And
Which is something I took.
and even in judo.
Yeah, it's in a lot of martial arts.
I mean, it's very effective,
Yeah.
so makes sense, right? But I always think of Tai Chi when I know it's a Bruce Lee thing. I know that, there are other references to Bruce Lee throughout the series. It's hard to ignore that, but every time I watch this one, I'm just like, "Oh, it's like Tai Chi."
What's funny though is because like they were talking about very like they were applying it in very kind of Tai Chi like ways, or maybe judo like ways, because they're talking about like throwing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Ironically, this episode he doesn't do a lot of like Jeet Kune Do looking stuff where like he normally does.
No, he's just shooting mostly.
But I really like we talk a lot about the little small bits of editing that really make Cowboy Bebop sometimes, and it makes the other shows too. But Cowboy Bebop really is just like the best one in a lot of ways. But like I really like how they multiple times whenever they throw somebody, they catch somebody's arm and they throw it and do like this insert of them, like a bigger close up of them grabbing the arm, and it's just like super effective as like portraying this martial arts as just like he clutched you. It's just that, like just the small things go a long way in this show to really sell and kind of like really put you in the story.
Oh yeah, combined with what Seamus mentioned about the view of the person getting flipped, really works.
And like sort of similarly, I just really like the editing in the Samurai Champloo episode, where it's going it's like framed as a flashback, but it like everything else in that show, it's very flippant. It's very just like it's not it's not really important. And they play around with that a lot. And I just like the way it kind of goes between the flashback and the present day, and then at a certain point it dipped into like the title card, Just like really good stuff like that. That just makes these shows enjoyable to me.
Yeah, I'm glad we're doing Shanku Journeys. But it sounds like it's time for a ranking. So, Darfox, please rank these 3 episodes.
I think I put Cowboy Bebop on top because, like Seamus, I actually like this episode. And there's actually a soundtrack in this episode that reminds me a lot of Trigun. Very similar guitar stuff happening. So I put Cowboy Bebop on top for multiple reasons. The number 2 is tough because I really just want to give it to the weed scene. I just love the weed stuff in this episode. So I might have to put Michiko and Hatchin at the end, even though I thought it was a good episode, and I like seeing her interact with like other kids that weren't like trying to rob her on the boat.
Or abuse her at home in the beginning, like in the beginning.
Oh, Rob locked that out. That beginning
That's rough.
It kind of sucked.
It's rough, yeah.
Darfox has ranked Michiko and Hatchin last for 5 out of these 8 Jiangku Journeys we've done. What about you, Morgana?
I think I'm gonna put Michiko and Hatchin first because I think it's the story that I was the most interested in of the 3. Then Bebop, then Samurai Champloo. But I will say, I do feel like I enjoyed all of the episodes pretty equally. I don't, like again, it's kind of it's a decent round of TV that we watched this week. But yeah, I think Michiko and Hatchin gave me something this episode that I had not had in the last few episodes of it, which was like a little bit of, I don't know, hope, a little bit of something nice. It was just nice.
Not a full bummer like all the
yeah,
other
yeah,
episodes.
not a super bummer. Yeah,
Or a weird, like, wacky, like, Looney Tunes bull fight scene.
which is also great, but something different.
Okay. That is the same ranking you gave last episode.
Is it?
It is.
Put Michiko and Hatchin first last time?
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention real quick. They said that what was it, like, Hatchin is walking past the TV or something, and they mentioned that, the guy who was pretending to be the one guy with Michiko. Crap, what was his name?
Satoshi?
He was pretending to be Satoshi.
Right.
That guy's body was discovered, like, by, like, a train station or something. It was like, oh, that guy, yeah, he totally died. I expected him to die, but they spelled it out. That guy is dead. Sorry. Oh, Seamus, what is your ranking?
I'll go Cowboy, Michiko, Samurai.
Okay. I think I will mirror Seamus's ranking.
Can I say something kind of randomly? I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I really like the ED for Michiko and Hatchin. Of course, I like the ED for Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, but more and more, the Michiko and Hatchin ED or ending song has really, really stuck with me.
It's a good one. I like the music of Michiko and Hatchin. I mean, again, we've discussed this before. They're all very musically distinct, and none of them are gonna kind of live up to the breadth of music of Cowboy Bebop. There's so many styles and genres and cultures represented in Bebop. But I think the other 2 have some strong music too.
I think it's just a shame because I want more music from Michiko and Hatchin because the other 2 shows are very musical. But it's not like a main focus.
It's not really that type of show.
Yeah.
It has good music, but it's not like almost like the selling point like it is in Champloo and Bebop.
Exactly. Okay, I've inputted the points, the totals. No spoilers, but I will say Cowboy is dominating so far.
I
It's
mean,
kind of a
nobody's.
toss-up in between Samurai and Michiko, though.
I don't think anybody's surprised by that. I think we're all Bebop apologists here.
Mm-hmm. I'm pleasantly surprised you all thought Waltz for Venus was like pretty good. Because I
would like to take us to the photo that we statement that Morgana just made. I think if we look at the ranking, I think you will find I'm probably out of overlap with the three, I suspect. All right, Takazu. I don't even remember what I ranked these other episodes.
I have no recollection.
Seamus has put Cowboy at the top 4 out of these 8 episodes.
Ha!
What does it compare to Rashida?
Morgana has put Cowboy at the top 5 out of the 8 episodes. Only by 1.
Sample size is too small right now. We
we
gotta see.
8 episodes, so
We gotta see.
I have put Cowboy at the top 7 out of 8 episodes.
Okay.
Very on brand for me. The only time I ranked it at the bottom was for Heavy Metal Queen.
Where you were wrong, but it's fine.
Yeah, you hated
What
this
about Dara?
episode.
Where does Dara fall?
Dar has ranked Cowboy at the top 5 out of 8 episodes.
Okay. Honestly, slightly surprised. So I've done Beep or Champloo 4 times. The top.
You have done Champloo 2 times and Michiko and Hatchin once.
Oh, okay. That mathing.
What-
Oh no, it is mathing. Never
What
mind.
did I do for the other 4 then?
Seamus, you have put Michiko at the top 3 times and Samurai once.
Now that does surprise me because I would have thought it wouldn't be their way around.
I do wonder, like some of the ranking thing. Like I don't remember how I ranked anything, and I feel like so much of it is like how I'm feeling in the moment.
Yeah, it's like you shoot from the hip, especially after we have a conversation about it, and we could have influenced ourselves. You know.
Mhm.
Morgana has put Michiko at the top twice and Samurai at the top only once.
This all my rankings don't surprise me at all. I'm not surprised at all.
Right.
I know who I am as a person. It's fine.
I guess you just hate Mugen.
I have a wall scroll of Mugen tucked away
I
somewhere.
think it's more that Morgana
awesome.
loves Cowboy Bebop.
I do really love Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, Dakazu, bottom rankings in. Godspeed
Bottom
yourself.
rankings?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have put
Which one
Samurai
do you
at the
hate the
bottom.
most?
I have put Samurai at the bottom 6 out of 8 episodes.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Or I mean,
Mhm.
that tracks.
Darfax has put Michiko and Hatchin at the bottom 5 out of 8 episodes.
That's not as much. That's I expected more.
Okay, Seamus is actually kind of hard. Seamus has put Samurai at the bottom the most, 4 out of 8. And Morgana has put Samurai at the bottom 5 out of 8.
Interesting eclectic mix of rankings.
Is Samurai Champloo the weakest link?
It seems like it so far.
I mean, like it's
My
and I-
negativity is rubbing up on all of you.
No. I think the problem, so to speak, with this is that Samurai Champloo is a deeply unserious series,
Yeah.
sandwiched between 2 series that are much more serious but have equal comedy, or at least comedy of an equal standard. You know what I mean?
That's a good point because like the really funny Samurai episode was top for me, and that was last time. Like I thought that was great because it was so absurd and wacky.
See, I think to me, and maybe it's part of what you're saying there, Morgana, is like I think Samurai is maybe the biggest swings from like good like to this. Not I don't know, good to bad like to this like low to high. Like the highs are really high. I remember there you said this before. the variation on an episode to episode 11, I think, is maybe the highest of the three. At least that's my theory.
Yeah.
Now we'll see when we get to the other 2/3 of the episodes.
It's also interesting to think about, or maybe demonstrative to think about, when Bebop goes kind of like sweet and kind of like bittersweet and serious, like such as this episode, we think it's either great or okay. When Samurai goes like serious and kind of bittersweet, nobody really likes it. Like the second episode with the big guy, the other episode where the pickpocket who had the mom, very similar plot to this Bebop episode.
But it feels more saccharine for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe because the rest of the series is so bizarre
Yeah, like
and like nonsense.
whenever Samurai Champloo swings in this direction that the Bebop episode swung, it doesn't really hit, but Bebop can hit it for some reason.
Interesting. We'll have to see how the rest of Jianghu Journeys plays out. I know there's at least one Cowboy Bebop episode that's coming up that we're all going to be like meh on.
Wait, what one?
Oh, you want me to spoil it?
Yeah.
Watch
Well,
him
you're
take-
using we a lot here now, like.
watch it say Toy in the Attic.
No, I think that's great.
Toys in the Attic is my favorite episode ever of all time of
I know.
anything. I will not deal with this slander. I cannot.
No, Morgana doesn't need to worry about like what I said about like Heavy Metal Queen for that one. I like that episode a lot. I was talking about Boogie Woogie Feng Shui.
Oh, see, yeah, I know. I'm conflicted about that episode. Yeah,
Though I might feel different. We all,
Wait, what?
It sounds like-
I need to look at this episode.
Exactly.
It's the one where when Jet's old friend's daughter comes to him, and she's like all feng shuied out, like she can like read the ley lines to know where to go, and he's kind of like not falling in love with her, but maybe is, and there's a huge age difference.
I don't remember this one.
See, I would have thought Waltz for Venus would have ranked lower than Boogie Woogie Feng Shui, but now like I think that's going to be like maybe the lowest.
There's things about Boogie Woogie Function that I remember liking a lot, but I yeah, we gotta revisit it and see how it goes.
Yeah, and it's gonna take a while to get there, but at least that's my guess. But yeah, anyway, we did our rankings. We had our like final talk. This has been fun as usual. We're gonna have to wait for a new Jianghu Journeys until Seamus gets back, so it'll be a while. But yeah, it's a good way to end our 2025 with a full cast doing a Jianghu Journeys. And let's go ahead and end this episode. I want to thank Darfox, Morgana, and Seamus for joining me. If you enjoy our podcast, please subscribe to us, review us, rate us on Apple Podcasts, wherever else you can find us. Check out our websites, mangamachinations.com. We also have a Tumblr, mangamachinations.com. Wait. We've been going so long today. mangamachinations.tumblr.com. I got there. Check out our YouTube channels. We have youtube.com/mangamactv, where we do our live recordings like this one. We also have Nakayoshi Gaming, where Darfox, are you done with Silent Hill off?
No, I need one more playthrough, and I kind of took a break of it because I didn't want to replay the game all over again. I will come back to Silent Hill after one point.
Yeah, in the future we'll be playing through the DLC for Night Rain probably sometime over there. Also, don't forget to check out Manga Mac Watches. If you want to financially support us, buy us a coffee, head over to ko-fi.com/mangamac. Come join our Discord server. Head over to discord.me/mangamac. Send us emails, mangamachinations@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at Manga Mac Podcast. That's Manga MAC Podcast. We're mostly on Blue Sky, but we do have Instagram, Twitter, everything else. Or you can follow our personal social media. Follow me at DocZoo. Follow Darfox at Darfox8. Follow Morgana at Morgana Relina. And follow Seamus at Seamus2389. Remember, Seamus is spelled without an H. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to us this week. Bye bye.